Welcome nerds around the world to the Nerds Know Show, presented by letsbenerds.com. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Nerds Know Show on wsam 105.3, University of Hartford's own studio-run alternative radio station. Thank you for joining us today. On today's show, we have a few interesting topics today. We're going to talk about Ronda Rousey trying to play as Captain Marvel, do a movie review of Black Mass, and a topic that's got started after last week's show. What is the best and worst position in the human centipede? We are your hosts, Daniel King and Roxanne Ratapolo, and we're joined... Ratapolo, who gets it?
King, Kong, it doesn't matter really.
Point is, joining us today is one of our friends, Mike Byrne. How are you doing today, Mike?
Hey, it's great to be out here. I may be feeling under the weather, but I feel like everyone's kind of under the weather with all this rain and the cold weather coming along.
I'm under the weather. I'm under the clouds.
Yeah. Getting back to it now that we've gotten out the way after I screwed up. Headlines that we found this week. HBO's considering producing a Watchmen TV series. They don't know whether or not it's going to be a sequel to the movie or the comics or whatever, but would you guys be interested in watching that?
I don't mind. I'd like to.
Roshan?
Probably it's HBO, but I don't know. The book itself was so good. I don't know how they're going to add on more unless they get backstories, which is probably going to be.
I know I really enjoyed the movie, so I'd be looking forward to it.
I think they might just do like the Minutemen timeline before the Watchmen started.
Okay. In other comic book news, Mad Max director George Miller has decided that he's denying reports he's going to direct Man of Steel 2, the actual sequel to Man of Steel. Right now, he's trying to work on a smaller project, which is a little disappointing to me since he did do Mad Max, and I love Mad Max. What do you guys think?
It's fine. I'd rather have a good movie he actually works on than a movie that they're trying to force him to make.
Right.
It'll be just blah, like the first Man of Steel, which is about, an hour of fight scene. It was like Dragon Ball.
Which is what people want to see, because it's Superman. I want to see Superman talk. I want to see him fight. Mike, sad news, good news. George Miller, have you seen Mad Max?
No, I actually haven't, but I've been hearing some exciting things.
Yeah.
And, I don't really have transportation here.
Okay, go see.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to come visit Max, he can't escape.
You know what? Be quiet for a while. In other news, some tragic news. There was another college shooting yesterday, sadly, in Oregon. How many of these has been in your lifetimes? Do you guys remember?
At least 4 or 5 that there was major ones, and then a couple dozen other smaller ones.
Yeah, since 1993, I think off the top of my head, at least 20 I can remember. All sad and tragic, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm not one to really watch much of the news, but of course, if word gets around, people talk about it. It's all very tragic, and you just don't really think about these things happening to you. I don't know. There was a shooting not too long ago in Connecticut. So that was before I applied to go to this university.
For all of us, right?
Yeah, that was maybe a few months or a year before.
Yeah, probably. And not so easy segue from that sad story. At the end of our headlines at the top of the show, we always give you some weird news. This week's weird news is a naked man tried to steal 3 cars in Los Angeles.
All right. Why was he naked?
Why was he naked? He was probably strung out on something that's not important. Point is, he tried to steal 2 cars within a few minutes of each other. Then, after someone called the cops after he tried to steal a car, he tried to rob the patrol car too, with the cops inside.
Of course, it's GTA in real life. What do you expect, man?
That was stupid.
Not to mention the fact he also broke into a house naked too earlier that day.
He might get life in prison.
So he's very active. He's a very active guy.
He wasn't in the right mind.
I know.
I don't think so.
But he still just might get life in prison. Because, California has a 3 strikes policy. That if you commit 3 felonies no, it doesn't matter in your whole life, right?
Uh-huh.
If you do 2 felonies, right, and you commit another felony, you automatically get life.
Wow, I didn't know that.
30 to life, I think, yeah.
Why we never do
so,
felonies in California?
Yeah, this one guy.
How'd they stop?
They had to call back up to subdue him.
How many people
I think it was 4 people. 4 cops that they just had to get to do one naked guy.
Tranquilizer.
It took 4 cops to do a naked guy.
Yes, it took 4 cops to do a naked guy.
It's a wild animal on the loose. You just see it now, you know?
My animal walked up.
I wouldn't even know what to do. I just happen to be a bystander watching 4 cops arrest one naked guy.
Do what everyone else does, Snapchat.
There was someone recording this, by the way, too.
I'm sure.
Is that what we do nowadays when we see crimes happening? Instead of calling the cops, let's pull up on our phone and start recording.
We don't act anymore.
We direct now.
What do you mean?
We film it.
We don't act anymore. No one acted before. No one acted now. They just have a method to record their non-action.
Okay, snitches get stitches from Sean. That's why you do video thugging. That's how we got to do nowadays.
Genocide, crime, blow up Snapchat. That's what everyone's doing. You laugh, but you know it's true.
I know it's true. That's why I'm laughing. Again, that's a easy segue. We're going to start today's show talking about Ronda Rousey and her campaign to play Captain Marvel. For those who don't know, Captain Marvel is going to be Marvel Studios' first female lead superhero movie. And I, for one, would be excited to see Ronda Rousey play the role. Granted, she's not the most accomplished actress in the world, but I think in terms of physically, I think she would fit the role probably the best. But they're probably going to go with a more experienced actress or actress.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know much about her acting experience.
It's not. She's been in the Expendables 3.
Remember?
She was in Fast and Furious 7.
What was her first? I don't know.
I have no idea. I can just think of. I think she was in Entourage this year too. I don't know if she's had a movie role before those three though. I don't remember. But yeah, Kevin Feige, who runs or basically the leader of Marvel Studios at this point, he basically was like, he took a never say never approach because right now they're in the planning stages of getting the script together and things like that. But as I said, I would love to see her do it. I think she would do great as a role.
The times are changing. I mean, it's great to see a leading woman.
Yeah.
What do you mean for once? There's a leading woman before. Because people don't have seen the movies.
But in comics.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's what you said. First leading woman
for Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, DC had Catwoman with Halle Berry, but that sucked.
Yeah, that's because we want good movies. That's it. Bottom line. A good movie. It doesn't matter who's in it. It's just a good movie.
That's why people are looking at the Wonder Woman movie, Captain Marvel movie being important, because the ones with a female lead, they have given them crap to work with, and you can't. It's really not fair. I even asked you yesterday, maybe all of Marvel's lead heroes, you couldn't think of it, and
I said Batman.
Yeah, Batman. But then I explained to you, they're all white males, which is not very diversified.
I don't have an issue with that.
Well, some people do. Some people want to see these characters that they like that are very diverse on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my Martian Manhunter.
Remember I said yesterday, if they just add the diversity as an arbitrary aspect of the character, that's not helping anybody. That's just demeaning it even more. That's like you're saying, oh, you need to tag it on someone's identity on, and it's like, oh, you have diversity. No, that's not how it works.
It's not how it works, but still, people want to see these characters. I still want to see these characters. I don't read these things, well, I do read it for fun, but I want to see some of my favorite characters that are not that non-male whites to appear on the big screen so I can enjoy it. Good or bad, I'm still going to see all of them anyway.
I'd only watch them if it's good because I prefer quality.
Yes, you prefer quality, but I've been reading these things since I was like,
what a waste of time.
In other comic book female empowerment news, this happened a few months ago, as in like 7 months ago, back in February. Little girl wrote a letter to DC Comics campaigning for seeing more, specifically Wonder Woman, in a more prominent role where she's not always being the damsel in distress. And the question she asked him was like, why can't Wonder Woman ever catch Superman? Which made me think, how important is female empowerment or equality in comics? Because it's generally speaking a male-dominated genre of entertainment.
In what way? Are you saying it's male audience dominated?
Male audience dominated.
Male hero dominated.
Really think about a lot of people. We were to poll a bunch of people and said, who's your favorite superhero? I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a small number where someone will say, oh, it's a woman. You know what I mean? And it's not that there's not good female comics. The males are typically pushed to the front of the stage, the forefront.
That's also because they have a much longer history. Like this comics of Superman taking out Hitler.
So she's been around for a long time.
Yeah, but I'm saying she hasn't been as prominent even in that time. Like Superman's been much more prominent in that time.
But why is it? She still has good stories. She still has a great origin. She's still an awesome character with great powers. Why is it that Superman and Batman, I wrote an article about this a few weeks ago, they both have, I think, 21 movies combined since they were created. Mm-hmm. Wonder Woman has one TV movie special, and it really wasn't that good. I don't understand why DC would be taking so long to make her first movie, as I said, 75 years in?
It's a vicious cycle. She's not pushed forward, so they're not going to invest money into her. Therefore, she's not going to become more prominent. But with Superman, he is pushed forward. He is prominent, so he gets more money because they know they're going to get a total of revenue back from whatever they make from him. But if they do that with Wonder Woman, they probably know they don't have the fan base to do it, and that way it'll be a loss for them, even if they make a good movie.
Part of DC's Trinity. She's quote unquote part of their holy Trinity. It's her, Batman, and Superman.
I know, but you just
said should be on that level with them. But I don't get why DC.
She's in the Trinity, but she's not in the prominent Trinity. Like if you say, oh, name the top three from that company, right?
It'd be Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
I know.
Not in order, but it'd be those three.
I know, but it'll be super. Most people would say, "Oh, it's Wonder Woman." After that, because Batman and Superman are the two most prominent ones. So, and really, it's not really a trinity. It's Batman, Superman plus Wonder Woman right now. That's the problem.
Which is kind of how that.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Which is kind of how the movie next year's billed as. Really, you think about it. It's Batman v Superman, and oh yeah, Wonder Woman's in it. You know what I mean? Just I'm glad to see that her character's finally going to be on the screen. I'll be probably most excited for that, or Flash, probably Flash. But I still think that there needs to be an emphasis put on it. Not only with DC, but Marvel as well, where Captain Marvel does well, Wonder Woman does well. That will force them to make the movie I really want to see, which is Batgirl, because I love Batgirl. But on a broader spectrum, is there any character you want to see, Roshan, or Mike as well?
From
comics.
From any comic.
Yes. Whether it's indie or big brand that's not being made now.
Comic me.
Yeah, any character, comic generally. But as I kind of like quickly blurred out, I said Martian Manhunter.
I'm thinking about like back when I woke up. Static.
No, bro, bring your microphone closer.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I just need you to come a little closer. I wasn't trying to say it. Verbal communication here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
you can move that.
you're on,
You can move it closer to you, though.
Yeah, so you can go back.
Yeah. You should just
so like Static Shock was one because electricity.
Yeah, I'm sure some people love Jaden Smith.
Are the books on the pages, or are the pages on the books?
See, that's the type of stuff. Jaden Smith, blew my mind. How about you, Roshan? Any character that's not being made?
Into live action or what?
Live action, right? We could fall right into either Marvel or DC movie universe. In particular?
Not really, but I might want to see Superman, written by Alan Moore.
And have that turn into a movie.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because how they take it's the one where like Superman has like this plant on what?
It's supposed to be about female power, and we just got back to talking about guys.
That's what I'm saying. The issue is not that like, oh, we're against women. It's just that the stories of the men are just more prominent. That's why, because they have all the money and the quality pushed on them.
Talking about female empowerment, I say Martian Manhunter, you say Static Shock, and then you say an Alan Moore version of Superman.
Yeah.
Give him, what, 13 movies by then?
Yes.
Including the one that's coming out if they added yours.
But even if they made the 13th movie, it wouldn't be like, oh, all these Superman movies are great, because they weren't.
Superman, Quest for Peace, Superman Returns is awful.
Yeah, Superman don't return, just you can stay out of here.
Man of Steel was hit or miss with people. So I'm not saying that they need to make a Wonder Woman movie, and that the Batman and Superman have been prominent or have been all good movies, because they obviously haven't. I watched Batman and Robin just because I watch a comedy. Sorry, George Clooney. But I feel they need to put a bigger emphasis, as you said, because all those stories, all those movies are prominent things for those companies. I feel like the women can be just as prominent, especially now when there's a big push to make females a bigger lead.
I know, but the issue is that even though the times change, right, people aren't really going to change that. Like, you can say, oh, you guys should read this more, but at the end of the day, if it's not good, they won't.
Wonder Woman's comics. I love Wonder Woman. I think it's sensational comics featuring Wonder Woman. Not very good. Not very good, in my opinion. Some people may love it. I'm just not a fan. All right, everybody. I think it's time for us to take a break after all that. When we get back, we're going to talk about Black Mass. Me and Roshan saw that, last Friday, I believe?
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to lead to another topic about how we punish criminals in not only our society, but how Sweden does it. Because I fundamentally disagree with how Sweden does things, but we'll worry about that later after we come back from break. Stay tuned. It's the Nerds Know Show on WSM 105.3, University of Hartford's own student-run alternative radio station. Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerds Know Show on WSM 105.3, the University of Hartford's own student-run radio station. Before the break, we were talking about the fact that me and Roshan saw the Black Mass movie, last Friday, right?
Yeah.
Right? So for those who don't know, Black Mass stars Johnny Depp as Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger was...
Wait, hold on. And Joel Edgerton.
Shush. Let me do this.
No. Give credit.
You see the movie, Joel Edgerton was in it too. He was pretty good. Back to the point. Black Mass stars Johnny Depp and Joel Edgerton.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny Depp portrays Whitey Bulger, a prominent, gangster, mob boss, what do you call him?
All
gangster,
three.
Mob boss, criminal, all the good things?
Yeah.
Or bad things. Whitey Bulger was pretty prominent, in the 70s going into the 80s. And Joel Edgerton plays FBI agent, I forgot his name, the character.
John Conley, thank you. He plays FBI agent John Conley, and how their relationship created this big underground of criminal activity in Boston, right? Yeah. Boston, South Boston, mainly the Winter Hill Gang.
Yes, with the Winter Hill Gang. Eventually, get to the point of a news story that happened in 2011 where Whitey Bulger was through a tip, was caught and sentenced to life in prison, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, life in prison for like 10 murders, something like that, something ridiculous. Back to the point, I really enjoyed the movie. Roshan, you?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite movie ever, but it's pretty good.
I thought Johnny Depp finally did a good job. Because
Finally.
yes.
What do you mean finally?
What did I say finally? He went back to doing the acting that he was known for before
Wait, hold on.
he started playing a caricature of himself.
Have you seen The Rum Diary?
No, I have not.
That came out in 2011. That was good, and Johnny Depp was good in that.
Okay. Talking about big budget stuff.
Yes, The Rum. Okay, fine. Have you seen Rango? Okay, Johnny Depp was good in that.
What?
That also came
How
out in 2011. Huh?
How good?
Really good.
But you have a weird movie taste too.
Yes, the only reason people didn't really say it was a good movie because it was animated.
Yeah.
But he's still good in the movie. Like, you believed his character. It's also, in the movie, there's some references to his other movies, including The Rum Diary and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Point is, Johnny Depp's reputation has gone down a little bit over the years.
Not with me.
Since when? Caribbean?
No, the first Pirates of the Caribbean was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that's where he got his skyrocket.
Yeah.
You know?
After that, did you see Alice in Wonderland with him in it?
No.
He was fine.
That was awful.
You think it was awful?
How do you think that was?
He's the Mad Hatter.
No.
No, there's a Mad Hatter, and then there's that. That was a joke for a Mad Hatter. We're getting off topic. It's about Black Mass, not other Johnny Depp movie. I'm trying to say you did a good job in this movie. That's the point of that statement.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm also trying to say that when you say he's good in the movie,
He was really good in the movie.
yeah, he was as good as Joel Edgerton. Like, you know the guy, he's Australian.
Who?
Joel Edgerton, John Connolly. You didn't know that.
I didn't today.
See, that's how good he was. He proved to you that he was from Boston when he was not even from the same continent.
Does he have a strong Australian accent or something?
He's Australian.
Doesn't he have a strong Australian accent?
How strong does it need to be? We have a strong American accent.
Do we now?
Yes, we're American. We have an accent by default.
Rambling, not the point. We're talking about this movie. Can we stay on topic, please? Thank you. The point is, we both enjoyed it. You didn't like it as much as I did, but you still liked it.
Yeah.
One of the things I loved about the movie was the fact that when you were watching it, you felt like you were watching a bad. Because a lot of times in movies that are about gangsters,
By The Godfather and Scarface.
yeah, they almost promote the activity they're doing, the person themselves, and you're kind of like, oh, this is really cool. Maybe not that I want to sell dope and have a machine gun or whatever.
Yeah, say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, say let's put my little friend scene in your life. But you still wanted to be sort of part of that life.
You want the results of the life without the actual
life,
difficulty.
yeah. But in this movie, you really felt like he's a gangster, he's a bad guy, he's killing people, snapping people's necks, and he's the scum of the earth. And then even with Joel Edgerton's character, John Connolly, you kind of felt like, and this is why those type of people get away with this stuff, because there's corrupt officials too that screw it up for everybody else.
Also, it showed how in most other movies, Godfather and Scarface, the violence is very contained to the gangster world. But in this one, it showed people who weren't even gangsters; they're just businessmen and people who are just like normal and not affiliated with it all being killed just because they're in the way of the gangsters.
Yeah, it was very, very cold the way they did the violence.
Well, that's what murder is.
I know the murder is very cold, but if you look at it in the movie, sometimes murder gets not intensified; it gets drummed up a little, like
glorified.
Illusion.
Yeah.
Like illusion and...
Yeah, it becomes... You don't feel like you're seeing murder. You feel like you're watching almost like art taking place. But you are, because it is a movie. But Black Mass did a very good job of making you go, no, he's killing someone. This is a bad thing.
Right. You're right. Like, films, they make things seem interesting.
Yeah, which is what they're going for. It was still an entertaining movie.
But I think that what you're hinting is separating itself from entertainment and making it a real awareness.
Yeah, how dark his entire life was. Because the movie started off with people talking about how much they liked him. He was good to the community. Like, there was one scene. Do spoiler alerts for that?
What,
it's not a significant scene.
With the old lady?
Yeah.
That was in the trailer, you can say that.
Okay. I didn't know it was a trailer. I just didn't see the trailer. I don't try to see those. But in the movie, starts off, he's helping an old lady put her groceries in, and she's talking about how much she loves him and things like that. So they try to show him off being very nice, but then pretty soon, later on in the movie, you get to see, okay, that's why he was on the run for a while. That's why he...
went to Alcatraz.
Yes, went to Alcatraz. But even with the Alcatraz thing, he was there for 9 years, something like that, or 5 years. He was there for a good minute of his life. And it's just like, okay, so you get to understand just exactly who Whitey Bulger was, in case you didn't fully know.
And I liked how, even since this is true to life, it shows that not everyone has to go this route he did. like John Connolly.
Yeah.
Before this, he became an FBI guy, a good guy,
Yeah.
in a way.
And his brother became
A senator.
till they found out, until he left being a senator, and then he became what?
The president of the University of Massachusetts.
Yeah, then he had to leave that because they found out that his brother was Whitey Bulger.
No, they found out that he was in contact with Whitey Bulger
that's right.
while he was on the run from the FBI.
Which I thought was interesting. I never, one little side, I never really like it when movies, do the writing at the end of these sort of biopic sort of movies.
Like in the Social Network?
Yeah, or, what was the other biopic? Or like at the end of, Straight Outta Compton. I don't remember if they did it at Straight Outta Compton where they had the writing at the end of the movie saying what happened with this person and that person. I think they did. I never really liked it. I'd rather you show it. If you have to make the movie
No, but
if they make the movie a little bit longer just to see it, I'd rather.
But listen, that what they're writing out is what our modern day life is. So we can see it in our modern day life because we know where they are right now. Like we know that Mark Zuckerberg is the head of Facebook, and we know he's worth that much. So it's just a reminder. It doesn't need to be shown. It's shown in our everyday life.
Yeah, I guess I'm not really talking about things where people are still alive, or you know what I mean. I understand that with Mark Zuckerberg or Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and Straight Outta Compton.
Whitey Bulger's still alive.
Huh? I know, but I mean, generally speaking, I don't really like it because, especially if a person has passed away, I'd rather you play out their entire life up to the point of their death, and then a little bit of aftermath after that.
No, then you should see this movie about it stars name. I'm gonna look it up. You keep talking.
What, do you know anything what it's about?
Yeah, it's the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Great movie. It's exactly what
I'm talking about, where it plays out fully.
His life, and then a little bit afterwards.
Okay. But yeah, I just wish more movies did that. Even a little bit, if the person's still alive, just a little bit. I would even like to see if that person's still alive, them be in it. Obviously, Whitey Bulger can't do that.
So, the Jesse James movie was good because it showed the perspective of Jesse James to this guy, right? And how, Jesse James died, and then the aftermath of his death and how it affected everyone else's lives.
Yeah, maybe let's see that. So after Whitey Bulger was arrested, we earlier this week we had a conversation about punishment for criminals, and you were telling me what was the thing about Sweden that they do? That
when you go to jail, they don't really do as harsh punishment as here. Like you get sent away.
Yeah.
But it's not like rough, brutal. People don't they don't encourage other criminals to mess around with you and for you to have a difficult life. They'll throw you away in a cell. You get some criminals, depending on what they did, they have access to TV, books, kitchen, comfortable living amenities, and also the guards don't really mess around with you. They just watch over you.
Yeah. One of the biggest points, I was reading an article on The Guardian about it. One of the directors, I forgot his actual title for the penal system in Sweden, but he's just their punishment is the sentence. Their punishment is the fact that we're taking away their freedom. That's it. Our job is to make sure that these people are taken care of and treated as
human beings.
Yeah, well, yes. That's the way I was thinking. People in need. Yeah, where they're people in need, and that they do have other issues besides they committed this heinous crime, or it's not so heinous crime, but it's still a crime. They're more or less trying to care for that person so they can be a functioning member of society. Well, I say I totally disagree with it. I overstated. I get what they're doing, and I understand that logically that makes sense. You don't want to completely what's the word? Dehumanize, or not really blackball them from society is the way I was trying to phrase it. We really don't want to keep them from being a functioning member of society, but at the same time, I can understand and respect what our penal system, why people would prefer us or the way we do things. Maybe not prefer, but understand the way we do things. Because if you do these crimes, I can understand if you're a victim of these crimes. You want them to be punished. Their punishment for you isn't, I get sentenced to a 5-year stay in prison or lifetime. That's for you. Or maybe a lifetime sentence would be punishment enough for you. But anything below that, you're not feeling that's enough for punishment, especially if it's something that really shook you to your core. You know what I mean? And so you can understand if someone who goes through that would want the top minimal, I want you to rot in HE double hockey stick sort of feeling as a punishment. Not necessarily, you took away your freedom, but they're going to try to rehabilitate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you understand why I get why you think that's a good way what Sweden's doing.
Yeah.
I can understand from a victim standpoint why you would want
Yeah.
that person to be completely treated as trash.
But at the end of the day, we can't just let the victim get vengeance on whoever did the crime to them. That's not how the justice system works. The justice system punishes you for doing a crime.
But that's what I think the justice system should be doing. It should be punishing, but
That doesn't
you should
work.
feel revenge in that punishment. You
No.
shouldn't go out for revenge yourself.
No, you are going out for revenge by making sure these people suffer. Look, suffering is not going to do anything to solve your problems at all. If, like, my brother or someone close to me dies, right?
Or was killed.
Yeah, or, like, was killed. That other person who killed them, right? Me killing them is not going to do anything to help me. It's going to make me a murderer.
Make you that exact person. Which is what I get. This is why I think our legal system should be a little harsher than what Sweden's doing. It should still attempt to be, in a way, what Sweden's doing, but it still should feel like a punishment. You know what I mean? It shouldn't feel like I'm going to rehab, because there's a difference between me going to rehab for a psychological or a drug problem or me going to prison. There should be that difference.
But what is the difference? Because it's the same thing, and it's not rehab because they're not voluntarily going there. The state is putting them in there, saying we're taking away a portion of your life for doing this.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, they're never going to get that time back at all. But they will eventually become better people. Don't you want them to become better people instead of them becoming more jaded and more harsh and getting all these violent connections in American prison and then coming out without a way to get a job? Their family abandoned them because they did this, and then they have nothing else to do, so they go do something more desperate.
Can I ask you guys?
Go ahead.
You're
on the show.
You think that people, certain people can't be helped?
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like the Sweden is, I don't know, they're being too senile.
What do you mean senile?
No, that's naive.
No.
Maybe that's yeah. So just I believe that there can't be ever revenge, and that what we need is to sort of find in ourselves a form of forgiveness.
Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying that like us going out getting revenge is not good? We need to become like just comfortable or accepting of what happened and move on, or what?
Moving on is a big step when you're under that sort of pain from, I mean, if it happens, moving on is so I can't really stress enough. I mean, I go to Bible talks and I go to church every Sunday. I'm just speaking from that standpoint.
Yeah, which I get, which is a big thing that you will get taught, especially as a Christian, that you gotta forgive, gotta move on. You can't be seeking vengeance because that only makes your life worse. But at the same time, you grow up in society. You are a human being. Society does raise you a certain way. While your parents may tell you to a certain thing, there's certain things that are going to get ingrained in you, whether good or bad. That's just the way society works. Some things will become part of your mentality.
I have a question though.
Go ahead.
If you want the perpetrator to be punished, right?
Mm-hmm.
When does that revenge end? When that person dies?
For me, it would probably depend on what it's for. I'm not very vengeful. I always try to tell people, and they never believe me when I say I really don't hate a single person on the world.
I do.
I don't feel there's a need for me to hate. They may be bad to me, but me hating them only makes me feel bad. Me hating them only puts me in a bad mood. So I'm not going to give you that power to make me hate you and ruin my day, ruin my feeling. You know what I mean? Or just how I'm carrying myself that day over something you did.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to stand up and say these people are bad, because if these people are bad and they make you feel bad, right? That's just life. You can't feel happy and good all the time, because that's not what life is.
I'm not saying
it's all compromise, and those is what gets you through. Just you can be mad for a time when someone takes a loved one, but you'll find happiness in the end when that same person who committed the crime finds resolve and redeem or whatever they did.
Yeah. But that'd be a long process.
That just,
which is what Sweden's doing, which I get.
Yeah.
But I'm more or less talking about in the heat of the moment, because what Sweden's doing is, I think, very good, because they're having foresight. They're thinking not in the heat of the moment, they're thinking long beyond that, which is good. I'm more just thinking if you're a victim in the heat of the moment, that day, that week, that year, those 2 years, those 3 years, after that event, you're not thinking, okay, I want to see this person resolve their issues,
Become a better person.
become a better person. I'm thinking, I want that person to feel the hurt that I feel right now. I want them to feel that immediately. Not saying I necessarily feel that way all the time. I can be petty, but it's not to the point where if I'm hurting, you need to be hurting too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now I admit, if someone were to kill one of my family members, I have a bad temper. So my temper will take over in that moment, and I may be full of rage. But if I were to calm down before that point happened, I would be able to think clearly and say, you know what, it's sad, but I can't change anything about what happened. So with any final thoughts, guys, before we take a break, Mike,
let's keep
any final thoughts?
Someday, the revenge needs to end.
All right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take one final break before the end of our show. When we get back, we're going to have a little fun talking about the human centipede. For those who don't know what the human centipede is, we'll explain it once we come back.
There are 3 of us here.
we're not going to put it to the test.
We're so not. This is the There's No Show on wsam 105.3, University of Hartford's own student-run alternative radio station. Coming up next is Peanut Butter Jelly by T.I. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final segment of the There's No Show today. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us on WSAM 105.3. Before the break, we teased that we were going to talk about the human centipede. Now, this seems a little random, but we somehow got brought up while we were eating after the show last week.
What?
Thank you. I forgot to turn on the mics.
The mics weren't working. I was like, hey,
there we
don't
go.
forget me.
Welcome back
For the second time.
Bet you didn't hear the first. Welcome back to the There's No Show on WSAM 105.3. We want to thank you again for joining us. So last week after the show, somehow while we were eating, we came onto the topic of the human centipede. For those who know what the human centipede is, it's basically 3 people attached into a row to each other's rectums.
Via the mouth.
And food gets passed through each other's ends until someone ends up probably. That's probably the best way to describe it.
This is not real, so don't try it at home.
Please don't try it. It is. Just don't. I know you may see things on TV and hear things. Don't try this. You don't. Trust me, you don't want to do it. But while we were talking about it, we thought we'd talk about what is the best and worst position in the human centipede. The 3 of us here, I think we all can agree that the worst is probably the middle.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, when you're in the middle, that means your lips are attached to someone else's end, and someone else's lips are attached to your end. And it's all being passed through and mixed between. I don't think you really want to be in the middle.
But you can imagine.
Yeah, you can imagine. Again, don't test it out.
Just like thinking about it this way, it's like the worst Taco Bell meal you ever had forever.
Taco Bell's going to kill us now for you saying that.
Well, with what, bro?
Yes. So, since we figured out, okay, the middle's the worst, what would be the best?
The first place.
So you rather be, I can be the positive. We'll call it that for now.
You're being constantly rimmed.
But think about it. Even if you can't even move the slightest inch, or it's going to hurt.
This is like, which body part do you value the most?
Do you value your mouth or your
head? Your head or your butthole? Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd rather have that happen than having to eat excrement every day.
I would feel like at a certain point, let's say you're at the end, right?
Yeah.
You don't have someone's lips attached to your butthole.
Yeah.
But you do have your lips attached somewhere.
Yeah.
And I feel at a certain point, your mouth would get desensitized.
No, it wouldn't. It would not.
I would think your mouth would get desensitized, or you become desensitized to the taste. That it'd be fine after like a year. Because I think it'd take at least a year. And you have to suffer through that full year.
Imagine this, the first year, right? It stops going in your mouth, and you're vomiting it back, and it comes back in your mouth.
Oh my God, I almost just vomited on the radio. That's disgusting.
Exactly. You still want to be that?
I don't want to be a part of it, period. I just think it's kind of funny that if I had to.
First of all, I would stop telling the person who said I have to do this. That's what would happen if I had to be in the human centipede.
But if you were to pick one position, which would it be?
It would be the first.
I would probably choose the last.
What the heck?
Only because I think I could get desensitized to the taste, and I'd rather have.
Fine. What about the consistencies?
Are there inconsistencies?
No, the consistencies of the excrement.
How consistent are we talking?
It could vary between all the way from normal to diarrhea, and you don't know what's happening. Mm-hmm. And the vomit's coming in and out of your mouth.
It's gonna be butt hurt.
No, it's gonna be mouth hurt.
Throat hurt. They have a sore throat the entire time.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 girls, 1 cup for the rest of your life.
Oh my God! I remember seeing the clip of that in eating chili dogs at my aunt's house. I threw up just from the sight and the smell. It took almost nothing for me to just gag. It was awful. So I think we've figured out. Worst is the middle. Best is probably first.
Yes.
And You have to be a weird person and want to be the last person.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. King.
Yes, like I guess I'll be the weird person. Someone has to take one for the team. I'll be that guy. Someone has to lay on the grenade, you know.
Alright, what's on you? Oh.
Be the Captain America of this group. Please don't. We can't get kicked off the radio, Mike. You gotta say
too early.
exactly. You got something to say. Wait till we're off air.
Yeah, I'll share with you after.
Exactly. Wow.
Is that really how we're gonna end this? Are we gonna end this on that note?
Probably.
Well, we have 3 more minutes.
Why'd you come up with a topic that was more on a higher tone?
It sounded better when we said it.
Just so we're clear, like we have 6 topics as I showed you guys. The last one is people getting sick watching The Wall.
Nah,
Do you really want to go into talking about how people get sick during movies? Because the question I had was, has a movie ever made you physically sick? Because people are getting sick watching The Walk in 3D.
What? That time we watched that weird French movie.
Spanish
movie.
The Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah, and then I got real sick.
What?
In the middle of it.
With what?
No, I was coming down with cold sweats, and I was feeling nauseated, and then I left the room, my head was spinning.
Oh my gosh, what do you want your roommates watch, man?
Pan's Labyrinth's a good movie.
Pan's Labyrinth.
It's a great movie.
Which part was it? It was the part with the
where it was showing his eyes and hands?
The eyes and the hands.
Oh,
I don't know.
The man made of skin with the eyes on his hands.
Yeah.
Where Ophelia. Yeah.
And then the food just freaked me out.
That reminds me, that same night that you guys were watching that, I came in. What was that video you showed me?
Me.
Yeah, me. And you showed, and it was fine. It was a little creepy, but it was fine. Then we got to that one scene where that girl threw up in the guy's mouth, and I was about ready to gag on your floor.
Yeah.
That was disgusting. I was literally just gonna go all over the floor, and it's about to be right there next to Two Girls One Cup. That video. If you haven't seen the video, don't watch it.
It's pretty good. You should watch it.
I mean, it's creatively beautiful until that one part. If you can get past that one part, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't get past that one part. It's disgusting.
I'm sure someone out there has discovered it.
I'm sure there are, and that person will be considered weird.
You advise them to watch it, they'd be more interested in our show, right?
I do watch the thing. Listen, your free will. Go watch what's it called again? Me.
Yeah.
You spell that out.
M-E.
No, just M-E.
That's what I said.
I thought you said 4 times.
I said it 3 times. No, shush. We're gonna put your mic on mute.
Huh?
We're gonna replace you with Mike. That's what we're gonna do. Just got me and Mike hosting this show.
So it's gonna be you're placing Mike's mic with my mic, so we can talk into my mic.
Innuendo's not good on the show.
It's not an innuendo.
Yes, it was. I know you. You meant it as innuendo. Stop it.
I didn't.
Any last things, gentlemen, before we close? Because I have to plug something after this.
I just
Does that
want
do
to say one thing since it's my first show.
And we're glad that you are on his show. So thank you again.
This is a lot of fun. I hope I'll come in future talks and share my ideas. It's interesting stuff, and for us, just talking about things that are sort of irrelevant to the subject, we still want you guys to feel something towards what we talk about.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
And so hopefully you'll come back next week, listen to us live, and hear me mess up, or wait till I post the audio of this on SoundCloud at LB Nerds, on iTunes, same thing, at LB Nerds, or on YouTube at LB Nerds. And in case I haven't plugged enough stuff, don't forget to visit the website that sponsors the Nerds Know Show, letsbenerds.com. It's what the nerds know. You should know it too. We cover anime, comics, life, the human centipede. Anything else we cover? Manga,
architecture, philosophy.
Yeah.
Architecture, philosophy.
Architect majors right here.
Bunch of random other stuff that we like to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have some time, or if you don't have time, still go visit letsbenerds.com. It's what the nerds know. You should know it too. Thank you again for joining us on the Nerds Know Show on WSAM 105.3, the University of Hartford's own student-run alternative radio station. Thank you for listening. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to letsbenerds.com, and be sure to check back next week for a new edition of the Nerds Know Show.